Hey everybody, Mark Harris here, 1555 FanWorks. Check it out, check it out. Today we want to deal with distribution tips in the deal making process. Some do's and don'ts of when you're actually, you completed the project, now you're looking for distribution. Okay, the do's and don'ts. The best advice I can give, or I think any filmmaker can give who has done a distribution deal, is for us to tell you, do not brag about how little you spent on making your film. Again, do not brag about how little you spent on making your film. And the reason is because, let's just say you spent $50,000 making your film, and the film looks like it was made for a $250,000 film. Okay, and so when a distribution company, when they look at the film, they said, "Man, this is a really amazing film," and they were planning to offer you $200,000, and they hear you say, "Oh, well, I spent $50,000 to make this film." They're gonna say, "Oh, okay, we're gonna offer this filmmaker $50,000 as an upfront for his film, whereas they or her film, whereas initially they probably would offer you $250,000. Don't cut yourself short. Best advice: do not brag about or boast about how little you spent on making your film. Okay, number two is, do not show your film to any distribution companies until the film is finished. Again, I repeat, do not show the film to any distribution companies until the film is totally completed. The only time that you may have to show, or you want to show your film to a distribution company, is if, like, say for instance, if you're desperate for finishing funds, and they may want to give you finishing funds. And I do not use the word desperate lightly. If you're desperate for finishing funds, if you need that money for finishing funds, then that's a different story. Then you're open to showing your film to the distribution companies that's able to give you the finishing funds to finish your film. Outside of that, do not show your completed film to or your incompleted film to distribution companies until the film is finished. Oh, so what you do is, once the film is finished, you arrange a screening, and you invite the executives out to watch the film together. So, because what you want them to do, you want them to compete for your film. Again, you want them to compete for your film. A couple of more notes. Okay. So, all right. Here's basically a checklist for selecting a distribution company. There's a checklist that I have when it's time to select a distribution company. The first thing is the amount of advance. That is, once the film is finished, you show them the film and they want to give you an advance. How much are they going to give you? Who's going to give the best advance? The best advance, of course, the most money. Who's giving the most money? That's the first thing. The second thing is the extensive rights. Okay, meaning that some companies want to take 3 years, some companies want to take 25 years, some companies want to take 7 years, 15 years. I say don't go over more than 3 years, and it's based off the fact that how much advance you're going to get. But also your sales agent is going to negotiate that. I say between no more than 7 years. So I say so between 3 years or 7 years. But when it comes to 15 years, 25 years, I say that's a no-go. So number two is the extent of the rights of the contract, meaning that how long do they want to license your film for? Do they want to go for 25 years? Because some companies are going to ask for 25 years. Some companies are going to ask for 15 years. What you want to negotiate between 3 years or 7 years. And 7 years is really, really, really pushing it. Is there a guaranteed marketing commitment? Okay, so what does that mean? Is there a guaranteed marketing commitment? That means that the distribution company, are they going to pay for the marketing? Now, again, if they do decide to pay for the marketing, a lot of companies, what they do, they say they are going to pay for the marketing. Most of them, if not all, are going to put a marketing expense in your agreement. Cap that marketing expense, meaning that you're going to cap it depending on the between 20,000 and 25,000. You want to cap that marketing expense, because what happens is that with distribution companies, the fact that the way they're able to stay in the red is they say that they never recoup that marketing expense. So what you want to do is you want to cap it. And your sales agent, let your sales agent know, whoever your sales agent is, this is what you want. Cap that marketing expense. Okay, number 4, does the producer have the input to veto any artwork or theater selection in the target markets? Okay, that means that once the film is completed, you are setting up for the market for the distribution. It's going to theaters or going to a streaming platform or going to television. Do you have any rights on the artwork? And most times distribution companies are not going to give you that right. So that's some of the things you want to look into. If the fact that, do I have any rights to how the artwork looks, and again, that's one of the things you want to cover with your sales agent, and one of the things you want to look into for your company. Okay, so number 5, the track record of the financial health of the distribution company. That's clear. I mean, meaning that you want to do your investigation. You want to research this distribution company. If your film is out there and they're distributing your film, what are the chances of them going bankrupt? And what are the chances of them being bought out? So those are some of the things you want to look into when doing a distribution deal. The track record and the financial health of that distribution company. Are they going to flop? And your film is going to be lost out there somewhere. You're not going to have any rights to your film, or you may not even know who has the rights to your film. So that's one of the things you want to look into. Also, number 6, monthly and quarterly accounting statements are required. You want to make sure that you get your statements, quarterly statements. Normally, monthly is it could be a little bit excessive, but I do quarterly. Every 3 months, I'll definitely want to see my statements, and you have to make sure that you get your statements. That's very important because your statements are going to tell you how much the film made, how much the film lost. It's going to give you a breakdown of the performance of your film. Do they owe you money? You know what I'm saying? So that's what your statements are going to say. So you have to make sure that you make sure that you need your quarterly statements. Number 7, to what extent does the distributor plan to involve the filmmakers in promotion? Self-explanatory. When they're putting your film out or distributing your film, how involved are they going to have you in the promotion? You know what I'm saying? When they release a press release, you want to make sure your company's name and your name is there in the company, really, in the press release. Also, when they're doing distribution, you want to make sure that you have at least some type of input, but not being very imposing. But you want to make sure you have some type of input in terms, because at the end of the day, it's our product, it's our film. So you want to have some type of say so in how that film is distributed, or not distributed, but promoted, and who is promoted to, So give you an example, if you're doing a film on let's just say weight gain, you don't want or weight loss, you don't want them to promote your film to just anybody in some other country who the health of that country is tip-top shape. You want to make sure that your film is promoted to the right audience, so you can make your money off your. I know that's a bad analogy, but you all get what I'm saying. But you can get the biggest bang for your buck in terms of money back. Okay. The marketing strategy, demographics, attendant marketing, grassroots promotion efforts, and film festivals. You want to know clearly and this is also has to do with our marketing. Once your film is released, are these companies going to put your film in a film festival? If they are going to put your film in a film festival, who's going to pay for it? The festival fees. Or do they expect you to pay for it? Is this something that they're going to have to recoup? Yes. So you want to make sure that if your films are going to the film festival and they're paying for it, are they going to? So basically, they're going to have to recoup that. Meaning that if they travel, if they drink buy a bottle of water, if they their lunch, all of that's coming out of your pockets. It's coming out of what they have to recoup. So you want to make sure that you that's why you want to cap the marketing fee. So they want take a collective group of films over to the Sundance or over to Cannes, and you're paying for that. You know what I'm saying? So you want to make sure that, again, your marketing cap is Your marketing fee is kept. And you see I keep stressing the marketing because that's how they get you. Also, any competing films handled by a distribution company, meaning that if I put a film out on carjacking, and someone else put a film out on carjacking, and it has the same distribution company, are these films going to compete with one another? So you have to make sure that you're looking into that, because you don't want your film, again, to be lost. You want your biggest bang for your buck. And also the last thing is your personal chemistry with the with your distribution company. There has to be some type of chemistry with the distribution company, because you're going to be dealing with these people for the next 3 years, for the next 7 years, for the next however long you do your contract for it. You're going to be dealing with these people. So you want to make sure that there's some type of chemistry that's good when dealing with these people. So again, I'm just going to go back to the first thing I said. Do not boast about or brag about how little you spent your film for, because at the end of the day, you want the biggest bang for your buck, and you want to get all of your money, which is your advance. You want to get all of that up top, because honestly, that's probably all you're going to see. Thank you and take care.